An eerie atmosphere, an unnerving feeling around every corner. This place is forsaken, and so is everyone in it. Welcome, dear viewers, to Disbelief. Disbelief is a Half-Life 2 mod that came out recently. It is a sequel to the 2023 mod Disrepair. The mod was made by Team Vestige and led by everyone's favorite Bulgarian Half-Life modder, SCP Gaming, or John Bogey as I like to call him. Now, I will preface this video by saying that this is a very story-focused mod, and if you're planning on playing this, then be warned that this video contains some spoilers, as I'll be going through the mod from start to finish. The synopsis of the story is that after the Combine invaded Earth, they found anomalies inside the Black Mesa facility, and to guard those anomalies, they built huge, towering structures over the facility. We play as Nate, a member of the group called the Watchers, whose job it is to go inside Black Mesa and destroy any technology that would benefit the Combine. The mod starts off with us waking up in our room inside the residential facility, where we plan to get to Sarah and escape from this place. Immediately, the unique art style of the mod is apparent. The black and white style, the camera scan lines overlay, and of course, the pixelated textures. All of this combined plays a vital role in making the game feel a lot more scarier than it should be. Though I will say that I'm not a big fan of the forced letterboxing, and I wish there was an option to turn it off. We call Sarah through a radio and ask her to stay put in her room while we make our way there. The dialogue for the most part is well written because it's simple one-liners that don't try too hard, though I will comment on the writing of the notes that we find later in the video. We step outside and see what was once Black Mesa turned into this Combine nightmare. The fantastic ambient sound design paired with this desolate visual is just fantastic. Now, when I stepped into this area, it reminded me of the time when I played Disrepair, the other mod. And my main criticism for Disrepair was that it was very hard to see in the dark. However, what makes this similar looking section better is that the maps look much more unique. It's easy to understand where you're supposed to go, while in Disrepair, everything looked the same and it was hard to understand the layout. Turning around the corner, we see something or someone in the distance, but shortly after, they just vanish. And this soundscape in the background is so good at making the whole section feel terrifying, as if something's about to jump out at us. In our adventure, we come across these tape recordings, which are basically from the perspective of a scientist before the resonance cascade happened. It's a good bit of exposition, and I also appreciate the fact that these recordings aren't like 5 minutes long each. They get to the point fast, and that's good. From the notes we've read so far, we are told that there's something down here, and this build-up genuinely made me curious and even a little scared. Like, first we see a note from one of our fellow watchers who's talking about something being down here, and then we see an old report of a specimen that weighs like 110 kilograms. I was tweaking out, honestly. The suspense was getting to me. And then, it showed up. And I'm gonna be real here. At first glance, it was kind of a bummer that it's just a bull squid that they were building up the suspense about. But then I realized I am literally unarmed and walk at the speed of a snail. So if that thing sees me, it will quite literally violate me and I can do nothing about it. So yeah, it got kinda scary then. Again, the sound design here is so good, like listen to this. In this part, we basically need to sneak around, get a crowbar to break the planks, and then open the locked gate. Then this happened, which actually made me soil my pantaloons a little. About the notes, while they do provide you with the key codes, they are also used as an instrument of storytelling. I don't have a problem with the notes, but in some cases, I just feel a little lost because the writing gets a bit over the top with dramatic dialogues and references to things I probably would have understood if I had replayed the previous mod Disrepair again. This part looked fantastic with its lighting and texture work. Here we see a glowing box and a locked door. At first I was confused, like, what am I supposed to do? But then I saw a man crushed to death under a large pipe. From his carcass I retrieved the physics manipulator. At first I thought I was supposed to stack the boxes and get on top of them, but then I remembered there's no jump in this mod. Then I took the box and put it on this pedestal and yeah, that opened the door. So that's a game mechanic. I also really like this crunchy sound effect as you walk on top of the corpses here. This box mechanic will now be used as a puzzle mechanic and gives off some sort of portal-like vibes. Then we find a hacking device. Using that, we can hack certain keypads by doing this little mini game. I like this a lot. Slowly adding in gameplay mechanics like this is awesome, and it adds depth to a game. I do gotta say, I really like this combine captured version of Black Mesa. Given what happened here before they arrived, it sort of adds a layer of horror to the place. And this redone dark and gritty industrial look, this goes a long way. This part here I was a little confused. The door was timed and I didn't have enough time to run through it while I have the box in my hand. I even died a couple of times. It took me a couple of tries, but damn did it feel good to figure it out. In this next part, I needed to get 2 power boxes to proceed. The first I got by removing this toxic black gas. The other one was in this locked room. At first I was again a little confused, but then I realized there's this box that I can use to open another locked room and open the first locked gate. Very simple, but fun when you figure stuff out. And this is what I want to highlight here. The gravity gun and the boxes are game mechanics, and how you make those elements fun is up to your design. And even though this is a short mod, around 1 hour long, I would no doubt would have kept playing it had it have more rooms and puzzles for me to solve. As long as the solutions to those puzzles would be fun to figure out, something that would give you a aha moment, I would definitely keep on playing this. So regarding the story, we are part of the Watchers and there's an elder who sort of leads the Watchers. But some of the Watchers, like Nate, Sarah, and a few others, are wanting to get out of this place. The elder, on the other hand, wants to build an ark. While all of this is going on, we can see in the notes that they mention that something is coming, something big. And that is why the elder wants to build an ark, so they can be safe from whatever that thing is. But some are questioning the elder's decision, some are questioning themselves. I really do appreciate this world building and this storyline. While staying a part of the Half-Life mythos, I feel like the story has quite the terrifying undertones to it. The way it's presented with the fantastic sound design and visuals makes you feel uneasy. But in some cases and some points, I feel a little bit lost when reading through these notes. Some of the time I couldn't understand who wrote the notes or who wrote these things on the giant metal panels, the symbols and all that. I'm not good of a writer myself to share a solution for this, but as a player, this is the only negative thing I experienced while playing this game. Moving on, we're getting closer to Sarah, and also big props goes to the dev team for using the classic brush cars from the Half-Life 2 beta. This mod is now certified dark and gritty. But jokes aside, the atmosphere in this place is impeccable. It gives off such a vibe of hopelessness, being broken and abandoned, all the while this sense of danger that something is out there that we just can't see. All of this is just chef's kiss. After finding the key code, I disabled the energy field so I can get into the residential complex where Sarah was holed up. The building is silent. Apart from our footsteps, there's only the dead silence in these halls. Slowly but surely, we press on. We need to get to Sarah and escape from this accursed place. As we knock on her door and ask her to open up, we see a note on the floor. She's not here. We need to go after her and make sure she's safe. Moving outside and then back into another building, we need to forfeit our gravity gun so the security system can let us pass through. Our only means of defense is now gone. The door opens to an almost never-ending hallway. It keeps on going, and I swear to God, I had goosebumps here because I felt like something's gonna grab me from behind. Thankfully, that wasn't the case. We end up in this dilapidated place where the Zen infestation is worse. Here I also saw these paintings that definitely felt creepy as hell. Then we see the bull squid again. This time around, we have to kill it. The solution wasn't that difficult and the whole sneaking thing worked out fine. You just need to gather a few things and lock the bull squid in the furnace, and after that, you can turn on the furnace and the bull squid dies in the fiery death. Afterwards, we get our gravity gun back and proceed further down into the facility. Here we find this new Zen specimen that is extremely volatile when in contact with explosives. So using the gravity gun, we pick up the barrels and throw them at these specimens. This part again has some really nice creepy vibes as you delve deep to open up a gate. After this, I saw this sign and I was confused about what it meant. Then I saw a bunch of ghosts eating someone. And then these things. They're back, and they're still as angry as they were in Half-Life 1. Nate knows Sarah is close. We just need to overload the reactor and get to her. To do that, we have to power up the place first. I threw this box at one of the pedestal and slowly went to the other side, charged up the other box, and throw that, and now we're at full power. Also, I died like 20 times here. That was awesome. As we disable the security system, we go back to the main panel and purposely blow up the reactor. Not a smart move, honestly, because it literally sends us into the dream dimension or whatever this place is. We slowly approach the door at the end of this place and finally find Sarah, but we were too late. Whatever had crept into Sarah's mind became the end of her. She was no more. Then we look into the mirror and something explodes. We fall to the ground, only to open our eyes and see multiple Combine units surrounding us. And of course, Sarah looking over us as well. And that is Disbelief. I enjoyed this. I actually enjoyed this more than I thought. As I've said multiple times before, the only issue I had was understanding the lore and the story. Specifically when it got into the details and made references to things I didn't understand what was going on, but I did understand the characters, the factions like the Watchers and the Integrators, Nate, Sarah, and the Elder, all of that I got. But every other note or so, I would read something and feel like I'm missing something, like a point that I don't get. But anyway, that's not a big problem. That's more of a me problem than the mod's problem. Visually speaking, Bogey has once again delivered some unique designs and graphics. The stylized, pixelated textures with the black and white visuals work perfectly. Pairing with the extremely unnerving sound design, it all came together to provide for quite a spooky playthrough. Gameplay-wise, I actually wish there were more box puzzles with the gravity gun, but those that are already in the game are more than enough too, I guess. There's just enough gameplay variety to keep the game fresh till the end. Overall, absolutely fantastic mod. Definitely recommend it if you're now interested in checking it out. Give it a shot, links is gonna be in the description. And that's all for this one. Thanks so much for watching, and a big thanks to these beautiful benefactors for supporting the channel. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one.